Let's move on to our next session. We have all been traveling in Uber. So reimagining the way the world moves for the better, I would like to invite Ms. Megha Yethadka, Senior Director, Program Management, Tech, Uber. Megha has been with Uber for 7 years and is currently the Senior Director, Program Management, Tech. She leads the Global Scale Solutions Charter for Uber across the world, which comprises functions such as AI, ML Ops, digitization, map editing, localization/globalization, product development, and data services, among others. She's a graduate of Indian School of Business and NIT Jamshedpur. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. It's been an inspiring afternoon listening to many of the advancements in technology, especially in deep tech, robotics, quantum computing, and others. But I'm here to talk about something slightly different, and that is about how intelligent technologies are powering our day-to-day experiences and making them magical. Just years ago, if you remember, like all of us were waving our hands down the street, trying to stop an auto that's crossing, or maybe a taxi, and then haggling our way with the driver to say, or like really begging them to take us to a destination we wanted to, and then having to negotiate the price at the end of the trip, or even before it started, right? And now when you think of our experience with mobility, tap a button and get a ride, that entire experience has changed and become magical. And when Uber was born over a decade ago, that was the magic, like making transportation as seamless as running water was the vision with which the company was born. Over the years, as we've morphed our vision to be able to go anywhere and get anything, and Uber has expanded into a platform for mobility beyond just going anywhere to getting food delivered with Uber Eats, getting grocery delivered with Uber Grocery, carrier and shipping with Uber Freight, and many more such modalities. Our mission has also been redefined to reimagine how the world moves for the better. And as we think about how we reimagine the way the world moves for the better, technology is a key enabler for that. And today I'm going to talk about two things. One is how technology is enabling the magical experiences you see with tap a button and get on the go. And also the humans that make many of these intelligent technologies happening. All through this day, we spoke about engineers, quantum computing, generative AI, and all of the technologies, and largely talking about the computer science engineering teams here. But a lot of these intelligent technologies are also powered by data annotation, data labeling, data collection, synthetic data creation, and so on. And so we are going to talk about both today. Let's see, the slides are not moving as always. Okay, we'll make do without the movement for now. Let's see if there's any, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so as you think about Uber, when you press a button and get a ride, it just seems like, there's a simple app, you press a button and then a cab arrives at your doorstep. But there's a lot of technology work behind the scenes that does not meet a user's eye. And a lot of it is powered by machine learning and artificial intelligence. We hear a lot of these buzzwords on a day-to-day basis, but what's the difference between ML and AI, and how do we deploy some of these technologies in the experience we create on our apps? So from a machine learning standpoint, basically what we're doing is training the computers to do some task based on observations, patterns, and trends over a period of time. And when it comes to artificial intelligence, we are training the machine to think and behave like a human, right? So that's a subtle difference, but a huge difference in how the computer operates. And when you think about Uber's experience, there are several of these intelligent technologies that work behind the scenes. So let's talk about maps intelligence first. So as soon as you open any ride-hailing app for that matter, the first thing you do is identify the location you are in and the location you want to go to. And a lot of that has maps intelligence built into it. Of course, there's like places data that you create and so on, But what's really magical about the search algorithm we have at Uber is it is contextually aware suggestions. So when you talk about contextually aware suggestions, the app really knows where you are, what time of the day it is, your historical rides you've taken. So let's say at 9 a.m. in the morning, every day you're going to the office, then over time, the computer really learns your patterns and is able to suggest the most optimal destination and the most optimal route to get there, given the pattern over a period of time. And that's just a simple example of Maps intelligence, and now beefed it up with, when you talk about the Metas and Facebooks of the world, you talk about social graph and creating a network of people and businesses across the world. When you talk about ride hailing or a transportation industry, we talk about trace graph. That is about every movement from point A to point B mapped as a trace across the world. And that wealth of data is powering hundreds of millions of trips every day on the platform through the Maps intelligence we build. The second part is improving location accuracy. Of course, the Maps intelligence is a big data feed into it, but every day as you're taking the trip, especially the drivers that are driving on the platform, each and every mobile phone that is running our apps are sending signals. That is geospatial navigation satellite signals, in addition to the robotics algorithms we have built on our end to actually predict where the drivers are on the platform and then be able to map, which goes back to the third point on enhancing our marketplace experience. And the marketplace, in the case of ride hailing, is a two-sided marketplace. You have the riders on one end who want the most safe, reliable, cost-effective mode of transport. And you have the earners on the other end who want to make more of an earning, have the flexibility they want to, and just have better quality of work as well. So matching this demand and supply is, you can call it an economics problem, you can call it a computing problem, but really what it is an AI/ML problem as well from a computer science standpoint. And so what we're doing is using the Maps intelligence, the location data, the demand forecasting, the supply information, all of that put together in a model to predict and dispatch the right vehicle at the right time for your convenience. And expand that to an Uber Eats scenario, apps like Zomato, Swiggy, and the others that are in the food delivery space, it becomes even more complicated with a three-dimensional marketplace, because you have a merchant or a restaurant, you have the courier who's delivering the product, and then you also have a consumer at the end of it. And in a marketplace like this, it's always prone to fraud, bad actors trying to game the system, trying to create losses by not paying, trying to steal identity, and we just spoke of cybersecurity right before this session. So a lot of machine learning algorithms and models are built to identify signals for fraud and prevent fraud and protect our users on the platform. And then the last bit here is on one-click chat. We spoke about generative AI this morning, and even before generative AI became a buzzword, there's been a lot of progress in conversational AI, natural language processing, et cetera, over the last decade. And implementing conversational AI, NLP, et cetera, in a lot of our experiences in Uber has been cornerstone to how we deliver magic. And that starts from, when you interact with the driver on the app through the chat, we make it easy for them to respond with a one click. And while it seems like a quick response that you get from the driver, we also don't want them to be distracted from driving, ensuring they are safe and you are safe when you're taking a ride. So using AI technologies to be able to understand the intent of your message, that is intent recognition, understand the sentiment of that image with the sentiment analysis, and then being able to send the right response with that one-click chat is a lot of conversational AI implemented there in your experiences on a day-to-day basis. So these are just a few examples of what powers one single trip that you're taking on the app, and there are countless other examples that I can give of the same. We at Global Scale Solutions, which is my team, have powered many of these by building the AI/ML models ourselves, but then there are a lot of operational processes, and I know in the other room we were talking about business process automation. And intelligent technologies also make some of those seem like they never happened. For example, when a driver comes and onboards on apps like us, they do have to submit their license, insurance docs, et cetera. So there are technologies like computer vision, OCR, which we spoke of earlier today, to be able to decipher content from that and quickly onboard the right drivers. We also have a lot of technology implemented around safety. For example, we have a photo identification process to be able to make sure that the driver who claims to be who he is actually the person delivering the trip or taking you on that ride, to ensure not just your safety, but also to ensure regulatory compliance and such. And that is, again, a photo detection problem. You think about a menu or a grocery catalog that needs to be uploaded in e-commerce sites like Amazon and the likes. Those are all complex AI/ML problems, not just from search relevance, ranking, and personalization of the experience, but even creating that catalog, identifying the different attributes of a menu or a catalog, being able to digitize it, and so on. So these are all everyday experiences that we come across, and it feels like it's all available on our fingertip in the various apps you use on a daily basis. But these are intelligent technologies really powering the future. But when you think about mobility and look at the future from here on, we are talking about exciting things within Uber and across the industry. EV and electric vehicles is definitely the future, with sustainability being at the heart of it. But when we talk about intelligent technologies, the other part that is a big thing in the conversations today is self-driving vehicles, using whether it's LiDAR sensors and sensor fusion, which is the more expensive of the tech building autonomous cars and trucks across the world today, to AV 2.0, leveraging AI to basically do what we as humans do, sense what's going around, perceive, and act accordingly, right? So really see if someone's crossing the street, is there a sign to stop or move ahead, is there a parking sign, like being able to interpret all of this through technology and making the car go on a ride without any driver behind the wheels. So Uber's, again, becoming a platform for self-driving vehicles and being at the forefront of technology evolution in mobility and the delivery space. Now, all of this is just talking about technology enabling human experiences. What I want to switch to is humans reforming and transforming technology. And that brings me to the topic of data annotation and data labeling, which is a cornerstone and an important foundation for AI/ML innovation across industries. And it's hardly spoken about, right? Because it is one of those things that happens behind the scenes. There are like thousands of people really creating training data sets for AI/ML to learn from. Today morning, we heard from the Google research team about collecting data in multiple different languages to be able to train machine. While it seems like this is magic when the technology is built, there are thousands and hundreds and thousands of people around the globe collecting data, categorizing data, annotating data to be able to train the machines. And a lot of times this is just like grunt repetitive work. But at Uber, given we have built a marketplace for going anywhere and getting anything, we have expanded that to be, can we be the marketplace for knowledge work and enable some of this, ability to train machines and train ML models and AI be done in a jiffy through a platform-based approach. So over the 7 years, I spoke about the 10 plus use cases within Uber itself where we have deployed AI/ML in the previous slide. But all of them needed us to create various different training data sets. We spoke about GPT needing like 175 billion parameters to be trained on. But even a simple algorithm needs tens of thousands, maybe millions of data labels, data sets to be able to train itself. So in the last 7 years, just for Uber's internal use cases, some of which I mentioned, in addition to automated ways of collecting and using data for AI/ML training, we have human annotated 1 billion plus data sets for the various AI/ML use cases. And if you think about like one company needing 1 billion data sets to be labeled, annotated for AI/ML, you can imagine the extent at which you need it when you think about robots, manufacturing safety, identity safety in a financial setting, generative AI, which is even more advanced in terms of the data set needed, et cetera, right? And you can think of like pretty much anything, right? Training, we spoke about prompt training in the morning today and like the chain of thought prompting. What it really means is we are feeding the machine with question answers, and reasoning for the machine to learn from our data sets, right? So that is like text labeling and text annotation with chain of prompt thinking. But it can be simple as we spoke about self-driving cars, taking images and LiDAR sensors and marking a car as a car, a truck as a truck, and helping a machine and a computer to learn each of those and then over time reproduce it. So that's, at the ground level, what the annotators and data labelers are doing to be able to train the machines. And that becomes the foundation of how all AI/ML algorithms are built. And it's always true that like garbage in, garbage out. So the more the better the quality of your data is, the better it is. And therefore, Uber has taken a platform approach to solving for data annotation problems. We have built like a singular platform that allows you to create training data sets for text, image, audio, video, LiDAR, radar. Think about any sensor in any use case across industries and across the world to be able to power AI/ML. Now, we spoke about the marketplace. On one side is all of the companies and industries that are using AI/ML. On the other side of that marketplace are the annotators, like we said, who are creating these training data sets to train the machine. So how do we leverage the Uber magic of bringing these two together to be able to, of course, get the best data and make it faster, better, and cheaper? But at the same time, like how Uber did to millions of drivers across the world and created a flexible source of income, we've been looking at ways to make this a platform of choice for flexible earnings. In India itself, we now have close to 1,000 people working from home at hours of their choice and really helping train the machines for a range of use cases. And many of them are women who have taken career breaks. In India, 25%, especially in technology, is probably lesser than 25% is a female workforce. A lot of them have taken, career breaks for, caregiving and such. But being able to meaningfully contribute to the advancement of technology in AI/ML at the comfort of your home, using this platform and the program, Pinnacle program we have launched, is the way we are looking to move this platform forward and not only create and transform the AI and ML evolution, but at the same time create a platform for flexible earnings through this program. And lastly, I think the key to any advancement in technology is for government, public, and private partnerships across companies with the government and with the community at large. So we're looking forward to collaborate with many of you and with the center and state governments as well in order to share some of our learnings, learn from all of you, and hopefully socialize, externalize some of the tech we have built and enable acceleration of some of the AI/ML innovations on your end as well. Thanks for patient listening, and if there are any questions, happy to take it offline or connect afterwards as well. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Megha, for that insightful session. I would like to now invite Ankit Bose, Head AI NASSCOM, to come on stage and felicitate Megha, please. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you, Megha.